Hi my honeys, welcome back to my channel. So for today's video, I decided to do a different video for you guys. Normally it's an eyeshadow tutorial or a makeup tutorial, but today I decided to switch it up a little bit because I always get questions on what are my favorite eye brushes and face brushes. And I don't think I even have a dedicated video where I break it down for you guys and let you know each brush that I love. And if I did already, then I'm sorry, but I still get a lot of questions on what are my favorite brushes. Okay, so we're gonna start off with face brushes first. So the first thing I'm gonna show you guys, sorry it's dirty, but because I just used it for a previous video that I already did for you guys, is my Real Techniques beauty sponge. You guys, I absolutely love this sponge so much. I have also used the original beauty blender, but personally I always keep going back to this little guy. I just love him. He's so squishy and so fluffy, and I just feel like it really applies my foundation so good. And let's not talk about the price, you guys. The price is crazy inexpensive. It's only $5, I think, $5.99. I just personally love the way that my foundation looks when I do use this sponge. And of course, again, you just can't beat the price. Now these next two brushes, you guys, this one is from Sigma. Well, they're both from Sigma. This is the Precision Ankled P84. Once again, they are dirty because I have used some of these brushes that I'm going to show you. But this one, I love to use it to either blend out my concealer, or I also like to blend out my primer whenever I apply my Urban Decay Eden primer all over my eyes. I love to use this to blend that out and smooth out that primer. It is so good. Sometimes I'll even use it to blend out my cream contour on my nose. It's just a perfect angled brush and I just love it. I feel like it really does a great job. This one, you guys may have heard me say this in a lot of my videos. This is the Sigma F75 concealer brush. I can literally use this for everything, literally to cut or to clean underneath my brows, also to apply my Eden primer. I like to use this too, and even to apply concealer. It's just such a good brush and I use it all the time. Also, you guys, with Sigma, I do have a code, so you guys are more than welcome to use it. I do get paid by Sigma, but really quick, you guys, this is not a sponsored video. I'm not getting sponsored by Sigma or Morphe or any other brand that I'm gonna mention today, but I feel like Sigma is just so generous to give me my own personal code, and it's just Sandi once again, and you can save 10% off their entire website. The other thing why I really do like Sigma too, you guys, their brushes are seriously really good quality. If you guys have ever held a Sigma brush, you guys can tell right away, like it's just heavier, it feels heavier. And the cool thing about too, you guys, Sigma, they have a program where, let's say you buy a brush and it comes damaged, like the first time that you actually start to use your brush and the ferrule, hopefully I'm saying that right, comes loose, then you can send it in and they will replace it for free for you. So that's what I really like about Sigma too, that they have that program. And they always have sales, to be honest. Back in the day, you guys, Sigma was such a huge deal. If you had Sigma brushes in your YouTube videos, like you were literally like cool and legit, and they would never really ever have discounts. Their brushes are pretty pricey, and they would just never ever have sales, and I'm like, oh, I really want Sigma brushes, but they're so expensive. And now I feel like, me personally, I feel because there's just so much more competition, especially with Morphe, you guys. Morphe is really inexpensive and they have really great brushes, so I feel like Sigma always has like sales going on, which is a good thing. It's not a bad thing. The brushes are seriously really good quality, but it just depends on what you want. You can either go for a cheaper route or even more expensive, but either way I feel like it's a win-win, because you, at the end, yeah, you're paying more for a brush, but te va a durar bien harto, and you can just tell and feel the quality of the brush. So yeah, really quick about Sigma. Those are the things that I really like about that company. Next brush, again, is from Sigma. This is their large angled contour brush, the F40. So again, really quick, just touching back on how like heavy they feel, and they just feel very sturdy, and they can literally last you for years. I've had this for about, I think, almost 2 years. I've had this brush for almost 2 years and it still looks pretty damn new. Whenever I do wash it, it doesn't get damaged and the bristles are still there, and it just feels really soft. I'm telling you guys, they have really good, amazing quality brushes, and I just love to use this to apply my bronzer, and it blends out the product so nicely, and it feels really smooth when I do apply it on my cheeks. This is the F10 powder blush brush. So this is the one that I use to apply my blush. And same thing, you guys, when it comes to this one, it just feels really expensive, and it just feels like really, really amazing quality. And I just love the way that it applies my blush too. The bristles don't come apart either when you wash it, like they still stay pretty brand new. So we have this brush from ALAMAR Cosmetics. I actually got this in a little trio set that I got in one of my BoxyCharm boxes, but you can buy the trio on ALAMAR. I think they run for like $35 or so. But recently I've been loving to use this to cream contour. I just feel like it's like the perfect size. So whenever you're cream contouring, I don't know, I feel like it applies it really well, and it just smooths out my cream contour like butter. And I do have the other two, I just don't know where they're at. I've just been loving it to apply my cream contour. I don't think they sell these separately, unfortunately. I did try to look for this because when I did my foundation routine in one of my tutorials, I try to find them separately, and I don't think they do. But if they do, and maybe I missed it, I'll link it down below. But yeah, this brush has been amazing to me. And also when I do clean the ALAMAR brushes, they don't come apart either, and at least I haven't experienced that. So they seem like really good quality brushes. The next one I have is the Morphe White 11. Now this is the one that I actually love to use to dust away any setting powder underneath my eyes. So I love to use this if I'm baking. I'm gonna go in there to remove the powder. This is the brush that I normally use. I just love how soft it is, and it's crazy, you guys, because with some Morphe brushes, which I'll show you, like you can tell right away. This is dirty too, so I need to wash my brushes. But look at this one. You see how está más like seco, se ve seco, and it just looks really, really dry. Some of the Morphe brushes are like that, so you have to really shop, because they have really good quality brushes like this one. This one feels really soft, and every time I've washed this brush like many different times, once it's dry, it still feels really soft, and it's amazing quality hair. But this one, you will, like if you go to the Morphe store, if you've been to the Morphe store, there are certain brushes that are this quality, and I tried to stay my best away from these. Big example too, here's another one. This one's like really dry. It just looks not soft at all. Se ve como pelos de elote. So that's the brand that I'm talking to you guys about. They feel a little bit more on the cheap side, which they still do a really good job because obviously I'm still using them. I feel like they still blend out my contour really well, but los pelitos do come off when you are applying your products. You'll have like little white hairs on your face, and that's really, really annoying. But this quality of these Morphe brushes are really, really good. This one, you guys, the black one too, the black hairs from Morphe, these are actually really good quality brushes too. This one, now that we're talking about it, is the M438, and I also like to use this to maybe set underneath my eyes or even to apply highlighter. I like to apply some highlighter like this as well, but for the most part I love to use this to press in like any brightening powder underneath my eyes, or dust away any setting powder. But just, I really wanted to point that out because I know people have always said, oh, Morphe brushes are so cheap, and I'm like, yes and no. It depends on which line you're shopping for. Like I said, these ones are obviously more stiff, and these ones are just way better quality. Also with Morphe, I do have a code. I think it's a temporary code though. It's GlamFam330. I'm part of the GlamFam program with Morphe. Recently I had let you guys know that I had a code, but for some reason it like went away and it wasn't working anymore. Right now I just checked on the Morphe and it's still working because they sent me a brand new PR package with new goodies, and so they sent me the same code. So now it's working. I don't know if maybe they cut it off at a certain time and then they reopened the code when they sent me out a new PR package. I mean, I don't know how that works. So it's $5. You take that off any $10 purchase or more, but just keep in mind that you cannot use it on products that are currently discounted already, that are already on sale, or products that are brand new that just hit the market. I don't get paid with Morphe at all. That code is just strictly just for you guys. Hopefully one day I'm able to make income and they give me my own personal code. Morphe, The Morphe brush, it's the R13, but this one, you guys, I actually use it for the exact same thing that I use for the other ones too. I just love, for some reason I have like an addiction of buying brushes like this to like dust away my setting powder. I don't know what it is. I'll go to Morphe and I'm like, oh, that one looks really pretty, and it's like the same one. I already have like 4 of them, but also every time I wash this, it comes back to being really soft again. Also from Morphe, this is the E30, but this one is actually for eyeshadow, but I actually use this to blend out concealer, or I will even use this to blend out my cream contour. Right now, recently, I've been using this a lot to blend out my cream contour on the sides of my nose and bring it up into my brows. I think because it's just so soft that I feel like it just blends it out really nicely into my eyeshadow. If you guys have been following me for a while, you know that I do my cream contour and then I do set it with a bronzer. So this just helps it, I don't know, in my head, and it makes me think that way, that whenever I'm blending it up like this, it's just blending into my eyeshadow without moving the eyeshadow, and it's just blending as I'm going up. So I just love to use this brush. So this is the Artist Couture AC03. I've been loving this, and I'm sure you guys have seen him do a couple of appearances here on my YouTube channel, but this has been like my favorite highlighting brush. Unfortunately, they are not selling their brushes online. I've checked everywhere. I've checked Sephora, I've checked Artist Couture. I don't know if he's gonna end up coming out with his own brush line, but I really do hope he does, because these are really good. I love this brush. This is the Morphe M451. So I just have a bunch of brushes here on my desk, but the ones that I just have recently been reaching out for a lot are the ones that I'm mentioning in today's video. But I forgot I had this little guy. I'm like, I knew I had one. So if you guys are looking for a dupe for the Artist Couture, you guys can tell it's almost identical, nomás que este está más flaquito, but they almost look identical. All right, so I think that's it for my face brushes.
2,000 years later.
If you guys have any questions or concerns about any of my face brushes, please comment down below and I will try my best to answer those for you guys. Let's go ahead and start off with the brow brush that I normally use whenever I do use a pomade. So the one that I always use, you guys, is from Anastasia Beverly Hills. This is, I believe, the number A12 or A18 brush, but I just love using this little guy to apply my cream products on my brows, like my pomade. I just love it. I feel like it's like the perfect size. It's super tiny and precise. So also, it has a spoolie, so whenever you apply your product first, you can blend out with the spoolie and, you know, just disperse the product throughout your eyebrow. But I just love this brush so much. The number has rubbed off. There's some, you know, it's a little rough around the edges. It's been with me through like everything, and I just feel like it's such a good quality brush. I haven't found another brow brush that I am obsessed with. I've tried different brands, and honestly, you guys, I just always keep coming back to the Anastasia one. Now, some of these might not have their number because obviously I've used it for a while and the number just rubs off. That is another thing, you guys, about Sigma brushes that I really like, that the name is engraved into the handle here of the brushes. At least for me, the numbers have never rubbed off at all, and I've had, like I said, some of these for a very long time. I just hate whenever I use a brush and you guys are always like, what number is that? I'm like, the number rubbed off. I'm so sorry. I don't know what number it is. So here we have the MAC 217. Speaking of this one, the number has rubbed off, but I can, since it is engraved, I can tell and read it clearly if I point it towards the light. But the MAC 217, you guys, is seriously an oldie but a goodie. This little brush, you guys, has been in every YouTuber's video for the past like years, literally. If you did not have this brush in your videos, you were not cool. And it's a good brush, don't get me wrong, because I even still go in and to use it. I just love how it's really straight and narrow, and I just love how this fits really good into the crease. I don't know, I love to use this brush particular when I do cut creases because I feel like you can apply the eyeshadow really well. Also, really quick, guys, when it comes to MAC Cosmetics, if you are a freelance makeup artist or if you're currently going to school, you can sign up for the MAC program and you can get up to 30% off off if you are still enrolled in beauty school. And then once you graduate, you have your license and you have a professional website, you can sign up with MAC and you can get up to 40% off. So let me tell you, girl, that discount helps you so much when you're first starting off to become a makeup artist, because you save a lot of money. I'll link it down below for you guys if you're interested in signing up. And then you get a card in the mail, and every time you go inside a MAC store, you have to show that card, and you can also shop online with your 40% discount. And next, you guys, we have the love of my life. This brush has seriously changed my life. I love it so much. I use it all the time. You guys might already know which one I'm gonna talk about, but for all of you that don't know, this is the Morphe M433. Once again, these are dirty because I've used them for these past couple of days. But this brush, you guys, has seriously changed my life. Can use this to create any eyeshadow look that I want, and I can layer and layer and layer my eyeshadows, and you still get a bomb flawless application. You guys have seen me use just this brush on some of my eyeshadow tutorials, and it's the only one that I use for the entire video, and seriously has changed my life, and I love him so much. This is actually the only brush that I constantly buy like backups all the time. This is the only brush that I do that with. All the other ones I love too, but just this one I just have to have it, have extra backups whenever one is dirty. I have another one that's clean, just because I do use this one a lot. So this next one, this is the R40, and I have two of these. I also love this quality, you guys, of brushes from Morphe. So the Morphe R40, I love the gold. I just feel like it looks really aesthetically pleasing. So these ones are obviously más gorditos. They open up a lot more, and with this one, you guys, it's so fluffy that I love to use it to apply whenever I only want to apply like one eyeshadow for my entire lid, and I know that it's gonna get it done really fast and really pretty, and it's gonna make my eyeshadow look like butter. This is the brush. This is the brush to go for if you are in a hurry and you just want to make sure that everything looks blended and really soft. Again, you can find these inside Morphe stores or even online. My next brush, you guys, is the Morphe M441. So it kind of reminds me of the Morphe M433, except this one's just a little bit thicker than the Morphe M433. As you can see, obviously, this one looks a little bit smaller, and this one just, the bristles are opened up just a little bit more. But this one's like right in the middle. So if you do want to bump it up, if you feel like this one is too small for what you are doing, then you can always go into this brush. But I also love to use this if I just want to apply just one eyeshadow. It really applies it really softly and really smooth as well. Next brush, you guys, I have is a Morphe M51. Now this one is way smaller and is the quality of this. But let me tell you guys, I love to use this little guy because it's smaller than the Morphe M433. So I call this like the baby sis of the Morphe M433. I love to use this one for more eyeshadow looks that are more detailed, and I want like a specific area to be, you know, just more detailed than the rest of the eye look. So for an example, if I want to apply like a black towards the outer corner, but I don't want it to go up too high into my crease, then I use this one because it's smaller, and I can just pat on the eyeshadow without it going up higher than what I want it to go. And I just feel like this is perfect for looks like that. Or even if you want the crease to be very close to your natural crease without going up too high or too low, this is like the perfect brush for this as well. So I just call this little guy my detailed brush, and I feel like everybody needs to have a brush like this in their kit. This next brush, you guys, it's the Morphe M51, and this one actually reminds me a lot actually of the Morphe M433. So if you ever go to the Morphe store and they've ran out of the M433, definitely pick up this one because they are seriously almost identical. This one, the M513, it's a little bit taller than the Morphe M433. So like I said, if like for an example, my M433s, if all of them are dirty and this one is clean, then I go into this one and I know that it's still gonna give me the same results. Now, if you want something smaller than the M514 to, I don't know, you wanna be more detailed with your eyeshadow, then this one, the Morphe M506 is the one for you. As you can tell, it's way smaller. And I also love to use this one for the exact same thing that I use this brush for more detailed areas. Also, whenever I'm doing like a cut crease, I want to apply maybe like a black in my crease to intensify a little bit more, I love to use this little guy to go in there and blend. And it just is the perfect size for those type of eyeshadow looks. So Morphe also came out, you guys, with a purple set, which I'm sure you guys have seen or heard of me talking about these. There is another one, I just don't know where the other one is at, but these are the ones that I use constantly. Right now they are currently sold out. I can't believe they sold out really fast. I checked, I think like a couple of days ago, and I was like, what, they're sold out? But I mean, they're really affordable. They were only $8 for a pack of 3 or 4. But I love these because they are so detailed, and this one I love to blend out like my lower lash line, or even to blend out the eyeliner towards the outer corner to give it more of a smoky effect. And then this one just reminds me a lot of this one. As you can tell, they're almost identical actually. Now, as I mentioned that I use this one to smoke out my lower lash line, I also use this one from MAC, and this one's the 239S. Now, I try to find this online because I always mention it in my videos and I use it, but I don't think they have it online because I actually bought this inside the store, the MAC store. So I'm sorry that you can't buy it online, but definitely check your nearest MAC store or MAC counter inside like a JCPenney or Macy's, I think, right? Where they have a MAC counter, and ask for this brush. Again, it's the MAC 239S, and I also like to use this to apply glitter pigments on my eye. So like for an example, for today's eyeshadow look, I did go in and use this brush as well to apply the glittery eyeshadow. I always just spray this with some Fix Plus or setting spray and then pick up the eyeshadow that way and then put it on the eye. And then sometimes I'll even just use this to blend out my lower lash line. I also use this one too from MAC for the exact same thing. The number is 248, and it's also a flat brush. You can also use this to apply your concealer. I sometimes even use it to clean up underneath my lip because it's really small and it's really flat. Now, I also have a low-key obsession when it comes to like pointed brushes, like to apply your inner corner highlight. These are my 3 little guys that I love to use. This one is from Sigma. It's the E30. The same thing like I mentioned before, just to apply your inner corner highlight. I don't use it honestly for anything else except for that, or even sometimes just to apply highlight down the bridge of my nose. This is the Morphe M222, and I love to use this to smoke out my liner on top. Like if I'm doing a smoked out liner, or even to smoke out my lower lash line, I love to use that too because it's so small, and it's really precise for those areas. This one's also my Morphe S20. I'd use this for the exact same thing, or even to apply a highlight. I'll use these two to apply a highlight too if this one is dirty. I'll, you know, go back and forth between these 3. Another brush that I use for my lower lash line, and this little guy has been with me literally has been with me through thick and thin, because you're gonna see the condition of this brush. And I know you've seen this brush in my videos as well, but this is my Sedona Lace EB21 brush. Look at this poor little guy. It has been through the dirt, ladies and gentlemen. It has been through battle, a makeup battle. But I also love him because he's so small. Look how small he is. He's very thin, and I love to use this if I'm applying, like, let's say a black eyeliner or black gel or pencil underneath my lower lash line, and I want it to be really close. Then I use this little guy to blend this out, like really tight towards my lower lash line. Then he is the one for that. You can also use the Morphe M4 32. This one is my jam, you guys. So this one is super flat, and I love, oh my gosh, this brush, you guys, is so good. It kind of reminds me of a small little paintbrush, but I love to use this little guy to also even apply my to blend out or smoke out my lower lash line, to get it really close, just like this, to blend out any cream or the eyeliner that I place underneath my lower lash line. But it also just applies my product really precisely, and I just love using this one. And now my last brush, you guys, is my MAC 266. This one is definitely an oldie but a goodie. You can use this to apply any gel liner, apply liquid eyeliner, or I also use it to set my waterline. Let's say if I apply a black eye pencil or a brown pencil and I want to pick up brown or black eyeshadow, I use that to set the liner. It's just really like the perfect angled brush. Like that's the only reason why I use it, to create a wing or for the other things that I just mentioned. But this has seriously been with me for like ever. So I actually forgot to mention one more brush, the Morphe M167. I've used him a lot in my videos as well. It's another dupe for this MAC one. And I use it for the exact same thing, to apply any glittery or shimmery eyeshadows onto my lid. Alright guys, so I know that was a lot. I know that I showed you a lot of brushes today, but these are seriously the ones that I highly recommend and that I use a lot in my videos. I use these brushes so much and they never fail me. I just love the way that they apply my makeup, and they just have seriously been my go-to. I actually even have dupes of all of these for my makeup kit. So it's just brushes that I can seriously trust to get the job done. And I mean, you don't even break the bank, to be honest, because a lot of my eyeshadow brushes are all from Morphe and they're very inexpensive. Some of my face brushes are more on the expensive side, but they do get the job done. But I also threw in some inexpensive Morphe brushes too for you guys. But you guys, with makeup brushes, you can use them for anything. That's why I love makeup so much, because you can literally use, like I said, you can even use this to apply blush. You can even use anything. This to dust off any setting powder, but I use this to cream contour. Like with makeup brushes, there's seriously no rules. Whatever works for you and whatever gives you a flawless, beautiful finish, then hey girl, use it how you wish. And if you do buy any of these, let me know, or if you have any of them, let us know down in the comments what your thoughts are. And with that said, do not forget to like, share, and subscribe. Click that little notification bell, which does notify you every time that I upload a new video here on YouTube. So do that before you do leave today. I love you so much. Besitos. Stay safe, you guys, and God bless. And I will see you all in my next one. Bye, guys.